Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, episode 2 of the Wrestling Unlocked podcast.
Cool
We
of
are
them.
your three hosts, Captain Geach, Jimmy Noodles, and Britton. He doesn't have any special names in his in all of his stuff, so it works out. Welcome, everybody. It's been 2 weeks. How's everyone been feeling? How's everyone been adjusting? How's everything going?
Wrestling.
Exactly.
Lots of wrestling and
Right.
going off script.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
We got some things to talk about for sure, including definitely going off script. So it's been I would say a pretty eventful 2 weeks since the last time we talked. Last time kind of went over the state of Raw and SmackDown leading up to the WrestleMania here. Obviously, we got the feud of John Cena and Cody Rhodes, as well as all the current confirmed matches. Today's podcast can be, I feel, pretty much a little bit of the same. It's still WrestleMania season. We're still getting matches confirmed for WrestleMania. We are currently, what is it, 11 days away from WrestleMania now at this point.
Yeah, 11 days.
So
We're getting it's coming.
yeah, it's
I think it's 10, isn't it?
Oh yeah, 10.
oh
Yeah,
yeah,
because
10 day
night one
one. Yeah, 10
Yeah.
days.
ish, day one ish.
Day one ish, boys. But so let's dive in. We got a couple different things to discuss, talk about here, as well as we got some new segments towards the end. So stay tuned and
Mhm.
let's have some fun. So I guess the biggest thing,
No,
what?
let's not have some fun.
No, no fun.
This is
This is a
This is strictly
it
business.
is. This is a no
There's
fun
no fun
podcast.
alive.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
Yeah, we just talk. We talk in monotone the entire time.
exactly. Asleep.
Stereo.
By the time this podcast ends, we didn't do our job. Like I hate to say
Just
it.
make sure that you have it playing on repeat so we get more listens.
Exactly. That's the only thing we ask for. If our voices put you to sleep, perfect. Just make sure you leave that play button go, so that way we get that timestamp of the full 2 hours or hour and a half, however long we're gonna take. But that works for us, you know.
Yeah, the unintentional ASMR podcast.
Oh Jesus, I hate ASMR so much. It's like one of my pet peeves. Like I don't, not a pet peeve, but it's like I don't get why people like it. Like the whispering and like the fucking tapping on the mics. It's like, oh, I don't
Oh, it's not picking up.
know.
It's not picking up me tapping on my mic.
Good. I fucking hate that shit. Yeah, I don't know. Like, and the fucking people got off on that shit. I just whatever. I've never been a fan. Yeah. Anywho, let's I guess let's talk about the probably the biggest news to come out of the last 2 weeks is Kevin Owens. Sucks for those who don't know. He essentially is having neck surgery. Potentially happened during a match on SmackDown in January. Uh,
Yeah, we're thinking a lot of people think that it's him going up against Rey Mysterio
uh,
is where he realized.
oh, 100%. I think that's James. I was actually gonna say, do you want to kind of discuss it? I know you saw his video that he posted and everything kind of leading up to it.
Yeah, so basically what happened was he back in December of last year, he was talking with I think it's called My Mom's Basement or Mom's Basement podcast. He basically said that in December he went and got just on his own a full body MRI just to make sure that there's nothing there that's, really eye popping that needs to be addressed ASAP. Had a little bit of a thing with his neck, but with what they do in the profession and what WWE doctors, he showed it to the doctors at WWE and they said that he was fine. He felt great. And then something happened in a match in January that kind of felt weird. And then he, of course, went through his match with Cody and the ladder match with Cody. And then um, it wasn't a last man standing, was it? The one with Sammy?
It
Or
was
was it
just
just a
that
street
was
It
a
was
fight?
a no.
No
It
DQ.
was a no holds barred, I
yeah, like
believe.
an
No holds barred.
unsanctioned match.
Yeah,
That's what it
unsanctioned.
was,
Yeah,
unsanctioned. Yeah, and then he had his unsanctioned match with Sammy, and then started the program with KO. He then started really feeling it, so went and got, like, another test. He's fucked up. His neck's fucked up. All the reports that I've been seeing is that he back on Monday the 8th, no, 7th, Monday this April 7th, he was going to go see a doctor to see what the plan was. I haven't heard of any updates yet. But people are saying only place that actually I saw any numbers from what culture, they're saying 6 to 12 months.
Yeah. So
So who knows? I know Walker, you saw something different.
yeah, so I actually found out what that was. It was a Reddit post,
Mm,
and everybody on the Reddit post, I guess I didn't look too further in, because the Reddit post said 2 to 5 years. And I was like, fuck. I was like, that's wild. And everyone just basically started shitting on that person. They're like, where did you even get this information from? Probably people posted from Pro Wrestling Insider, all the other stuff about like different time frames, and the original person never responded back as to where he got 2 to 5 years. So, and a bunch of people were also posting on it, stating that they've had similar neck surgeries and maybe a year most, things along those lines. So, yeah, I
mm,
don't think mine was uh, accurate just because I didn't realize at first that it was just some random Reddit.
yeah. Moral of the story is always take a look around whenever you see something like that. Always do some research, do
Yeah.
extra research whenever you see any numbers or anything like that.
See,
So
I'm a type of guy who reads the title of the article and be like, bam, that's a story right there. That never actually does any more digging.
oh god. Oh god.
That's so bad.
Like, hey, did you hear what happened here? What happened? I know I read this title, I read this article, and this is what happened. Like, oh, where'd you get it? Oh, I just read the title. I didn't actually click on it, so I don't have any more information. I just read it at face value.
Walker, where were you on January 16th? Or January 6th?
I don't want to talk about it. It was a
He was
prank.
around some very good people.
Exactly. Some friends and fam, pretty much.
Uh,
Uh, but yeah, no, that
but
sucks. Hopefully, he's definitely feels better soon. Go ahead, James. Sorry.
yeah, I was just gonna say all the love and all the well wishes to
So, do we
Yeah.
think Randy gets a match?
Yes.
Who do you think, Britton?
That's, yeah, I think it gets a match. I think they quickly string together something. Even if it's just a open challenge or
Mm.
Randy going crazy because he wants to take his anger out at someone because the last promo he had in the program was the pile driver unlocked the dangerous side of Randy Orton. So they could use that for him to go after, I don't know, the Miz or someone.
or Nick Aldis
Yeah.
after he got RKO'd by Randy Orton.
Twice.
Nick Aldis is like, let me you're gonna have a match against opponent of mine, like of my choosing. And then that's and that's when like Malachi Black or Miro can come back.
Yep.
Oh my god, I was just kind of joking with that, and then
Like, wait a
my
second, time out.
my initial thing was going to be Andre the Giant Battle Royal, him winning it, because that's the most likely option. But holy shit, this could actually work.
Yeah, I agree.
Because the rumors that I've heard through listening to Wrestle Talk is that Miro has been signed with the E for a while. They're just waiting,
Yeah,
and that's the perfect time to bring him out. Like and honestly, like I've thought about it, and as weird as it sounds, bringing him back as Rusev is not the best idea because we all love Rusev Day,
Mhm.
and we're all going to be chanting for Rusev Day, Rusev Day, Rusev Day, and he won't be able to define his character as a new character if he's stuck with Rusev Day.
but no
Kind of
one.
like what they did with Sean Spears or Ethan Page,
Yeah, I don't know. I
where
don't
they
see him coming back as Miro though. I don't know. Aleister Black 100% comes back as Aleister Black, not Malachi Black.
I liked Aleister Black more than Malachi Black, honestly. I like the name.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he
It
he
will definitely sound
100%.
better.
Oh, 1,000%. So he 100% comes back as that. Rusev, I don't know. Like it's hard. So because they did it because he was a Russian like cosmonaut, whatever the fuck it was.
Bulgarian?
Well, no,
Yeah,
because
but
he was Russian at first.
Yeah, originally,
he
and then
was,
he became
Yeah.
Bulgarian.
Well,
The
yeah,
Bulgarian brute.
that's where he's from. But I don't know. It's hard to. I don't know what he's gonna come back as because no one. If you're just a casual dress WWE fan, no one knows him as Miro. So that maybe I don't know. It's hard to say what he'll if
But
he comes back as Rusev or not.
but to be fair, over the last few years, there have been a lot more eyes that have come to WWE that have been there since he has been gone. And so if you're a brand new fan and you don't know who Rusev is, if he
Mhm.
comes back as Miro, it's a brand new guy for you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's Sean Spears. He came back as Sean Spears. What was his name before?
Ty Dillinger.
Ty
Ty
Dillinger, the
Dillinger.
perfect 10.
Yep. So he came back as a different name, so it is possible.
Ethan Page too.
Yeah. Well, it's
He came
Yeah.
also
over with Ethan Page.
Dean Ambrose. If he ever returns, does he come back as Dean Ambrose or does he come back as
John Moxley.
John Moxley? Well, John
See,
Moxley's his real name.
if he comes back, I almost think he has to come back as Dean Ambrose because of the Shield connections,
Yeah.
and maybe they could work in something along the lines if he wants to go to his to John Moxley of that was the old me, don't call me that anymore, and turn that into a storyline.
Yeah. I'm curious. Yeah, that's a good idea, James. Though going back to what you said, that it's a way to introduce one of them instead of waiting for like the Raw or SmackDown afterwards.
Mhm.
Randy Orton does an open challenge and one of them come out because and then if they win, they're getting a win over Randy Orton.
It's weird. I don't know how to feel because usually my fantasy bookings are like absolute off the wall, batshit crazy memes. But this one is actually something that could legitimately happen.
Yeah, especially if they want to give Randy a match.
Oh, Randy's now heading towards the twilight of his career. Like, as much as we're celebrating John Cena, Randy Orton's in that same OVW class.
Yes.
And so, like, realistically, how many years do we have left of Randy Orton? So they need to give him as many Mania matches as he possibly can get, because with his disease, with having the fragile bones that constantly dislocate, you don't know, with him being an elder statesman now, when when that injury happens that stops him from ever wanting to come back.
Which one's going to be the last one?
Yeah.
Yes.
So because yeah, if you're like, well, we'll wait till next year. Like, okay,
Who knows
well,
if
what
he's going to be?
happens exactly?
Who knows if he's going to be on the shelf? He's going to be hurt and forced to retire.
Yeah, so I feel they do something. Maybe like we'll see. That'd be a good idea. If that's the case, you gotta play the lottery, James.
Oh yeah, I would have to. No, I will pop off so goddamn hard if I hear the Russian national anthem or the Bulgarian national anthem at Mania, or if I hear fucking Code Orange,
Yep.
I'm gonna pop off so goddamn hard.
It would have been. I think Aleister Black coming back would be more impactful than Rusev on WrestleMania, but I think both would have a. It would be good. So next little piece of business that happened. So obviously we know that Stephanie Valkyr won double champ. She after 1 week dropped her title, and yesterday,
Up the NXT, the North American.
yeah, the North America title, and then yesterday, Julia came back, and
Mhm.
now it's a fatal four-way, stand and deliver, with
No. Stand
and
and
deliver exactly. Jordan Grace, Stephanie Valkyr, Julia, and what's her nuts?
Jada
Jada
Parker.
Jada
Parker.
Parker. There you go.
Miss
Miss
Jada,
Parker.
Miss Parker, Miss Parker.
So, couple things here. One, was that the right call to have her win the belt to drop the belt a week later? And
I think
then,
so.
are you surprised that Julie is back already?
I think it was the right call for her to drop the belt, honestly, because she won. She became a double champion. The only other person to become a double champion in NXT is Keith Lee, who won the
Wrong.
NXT and who
Mandy
else?
Rose. Mandy Rose.
No. Don't you be fucking starting this, okay, bud? That was a unification match. That was she held both titles and it unified them. She did not win. She was not at any point in time the NXT and NXT UK Women's Champion. It was a unification match. Okay?
So,
Get out of here. That's different. That is 100% different than being a double champ.
because then they got rid of the NXT UK. So
Exactly.
and the belt.
That's how they got rid of it, is they unified it. It became one. It got merged into it got assimilated into the NXT Women's Championship with that win. So, no, there's only been 2, Keith Lee and Stephanie Vaquer.
Fight me.
I will get into an actual fist fight over this.
You're not wrong though.
Yeah. But
Um, but
Mandy Rose has been on Twitter talking about it though, like, "Oh, did you forget about me?" Because they
yes,
have
we
been trying to
did.
forget about
We
her.
did. Yes, we did for good reasons, Mandy Rose. Get out of here. You're 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 the woman's division version of Goldberg. Oh, Oscar streak isn't as impressive as mine. Fuck off, Goldberg. Nobody actually liked you. The only good matches you had, you're like Mike Tyson. The only good matches you had were 5 minutes fucking long. I can't I can't even take a piss in the time that your matches go on. Jesus Christ. But yeah, having Stephanie drop the belt and not lose the belt, having her in the middle of the ring with the Rock's daughter,
Ava.
Ava
Ava.
was, I think, perfect because and the promo that she put saying that she can't defend both titles, it's it's like impossible to defend both of the titles on a consistent basis. So I'm just gonna relinquish it and help raise up the women's division with another belt. So I
I,
think it was a good call. Someone's about to say
I
something.
Oh no, go ahead.
yes, yes, yeah. No, I think the match itself was a good call to because honestly, you have a lot of women in NXT that are on that women's title belt level
Mhm,
versus
mhm,
the North American title level. And Stephanie Vaquer was one of them, but she had the North American title. And I know the initial reports I saw out there were they were doing this match because Julia was potentially injured and was going to be gone for a little while. And that also made sense to uh, have another big star and have a big match on TV that can draw in all the ratings to make both titles shine. But then, having her drop the North American title, this ladder match we're gonna get for the North American title is already shaping up to be amazing. And
mhm.
it's going to make a new star. Like, not that, they're not already stars, but it's going to put a rocket ship behind one of these young women in
Yeah.
NXT. Meanwhile, like this fatal four way is going to be great, even though it seems like Jada Parker is there to take the pin.
Oh yeah. 100% Jada Parker's there to take that.
Yeah, I don't see.
But that's not shitting on Jada Parker because she's great.
She is.
Everyone in that match is a legitimate I Jada Parker is definitely upper mid card. She is
Yes.
the Miz. She is the Dolph Ziggler, where, hey, we need someone legitimate to come in at this time for like a heavyweight for like the world championship because we know that she can be believable. But her winning the title in an already stacked when fucking Zarya, who I think is above the North American title, and same with like Sol Ruka, when they're fighting for that, I mean, having Jada Parker there as another one to like be able to be bumped up to the main event scene is really good. But
Yeah,
yeah, she's gonna take the L.
I think the whole situation with Zarya and Salruka, like I think that's building up for Zarya to turn heel on her eventually.
Mhm,
And like I am glad that they do slow build stories now and actually pay attention to long-term storytelling. But like
mhm.
when Zarya turns heel, it's going to be amazing because Zarya already is she looks like a heel.
'Cause
And
well, go ahead, I'm sorry.
yeah, and like I remember watching her promos before she debuted, and I was like, "Oh, she's going to be a monster heel." Like, oh god, what was his name? Like the freak Lars Sullivan was before he
Oh,
went
yeah.
crazy. Like, just show up, destroy someone, leave.
I
And go ahead. Sorry.
oh, sorry. I think NXT is missing that dominant, scary heel in the women's division. 'Cause in the main roster, we have, of course, Nia Jax, who is a very scary, intimidating heel. And then we have, well, I mean, Rhea Ripley can fit the bill. She was fitting the bill for a while.
Yeah, she was a great
Um,
heel.
Yep.
I mean, let's be honest. Bianca's kind of turning into a heel a little bit.
Yeah, no one wants to see her win.
Charlotte is a heel, and with her pedigree, she has the skills to pay the bills, essentially. So, but NXT doesn't really have that dominant heel in the women's division. That Goliath that David has to take down.
Yeah.
And Zarya can fit that bill perfectly.
Yep. Like you you need your Awesome Kongs, you need your Rhea Ripleys, you need your Chinas, you need your Nia Jax.
Mhm.
Because when NXT Nia Jax was scary.
Mhm.
Uh NXT Shayna Baszler was another dominant, was amazing that Vince McMahon destroyed her character. But there's not really a dominant heel. There's dominant heel factions
Mhm.
on the women's side, and that's cool and all, but when it's lie cheat to win, it doesn't make it fun to watch their matches all the time. Like
No.
it's fun to watch them lose, even though they try their best to cheat. But when you know they're going to win about 70% of their matches because it's going to be a 3-on-1 or a 4-on-1, it's not that fun.
No, it's predictable.
Yes.
Do we think?
Like,
No, go ahead, Bryn.
yeah. No, I think of like the first time when, the old TNA me, the first time when Awesome Kong lost, like that was a big deal because she was so dominant and it was a star maker. Like, and you're right, NXT doesn't have that in the women's division. And like it's tough because once someone becomes that dominant, they get called up to the main roster because a Piper Niven would fit that bill right now
Oh
too.
yeah. Piper Niven would be great.
But
Yeah, but her character right now is she's doing work.
oh yeah, she's doing amazing work with Chelsea Green. But you don't have someone who's really free and available right now to be that heel.
Jordan Grace, I can see her. She, to me, even though she's short, I can see her being a vicious heel. Just she's got the look, she's got the fucking body. She, what was it, last week took a dude and yeeted him 15 feet
Mhm.
outside the ring. Like I can see,
Yes, some dude from Evolve.
yeah, I can see her being a strong heel if the crowd accepts it that way without still cheering her, which then it's like
That's
a
the
50-50. So
that's the thing with NXT though, is it's a different beast. I mean, you could have like the heels can get cheered, the faces can get booed.
they really can.
It's an indie crowd.
So it doesn't necessarily. So it's hard to say. Uh,
Yeah. I think of that Bobby Roode run in
Mhm.
NXT. Everyone sang his song all the time. He was the most
the
over
heel.
wrestler in NXT, but he was a heel.
Well, look at Imperium during
Yeah,
Yep.
NXT.
true.
They were the big bad heels. And then, the crowd fucking loved him. The
Go
crowd loved my
Walter.
bald boy. The crowd
Yeah.
loved my bald Italian boy.
Good old
The crowd loved
Giovannivici.
the only Yeah, the crowd loved the only man in the world who was accused of cheating on national TV, and no one believed it.
Yep,
Yep.
that's the only man in history. America was like, nah, this man didn't cheat.
Nah.
I don't know what you're talking about. So, do you think Stephanie loses after not having the title very long, or do you think it goes back to
Oh.
Julia or maybe a Jordan Grace?
I think she retains because you have to build her championship reign. It's not very often that you have short-term champions in NXT. And usually when you have a short-term champion, they've already won the belt before. So I think she retains, and I think she starts a rivalry with Julia.
Okay.
And I don't know who plays face and who plays heel in that one.
I think they're just both going to be tweeners,
Yeah, depending on
honestly.
where they go. Yeah, I can see it
They they
because.
they
Go ahead,
can
James.
they can I was going to say they can play into the whole like friendly rivalry thing.
Yeah, because well, yeah, I guess she can. I was gonna say the concept. Well, she never lost the title. Well, she did lose the title, but it's the whole like she wants her one-on-one rematch, didn't get the one-on-one rematch, blah blah blah. So I can see it. It's gonna be she's gonna feud with Julia or Jordan Grace. It's gonna be one of the two for sure.
Mhm. Oh yeah.
I don't see. I guess also too you have the other side. Do any of them go up to the main roster? Or do you leave them in NXT for another year, or a couple months?
I don't know, because that's yeah. I mean, we got to think that the Raw after Mania is coming up,
Yep.
and that usually has at least one big call up. And then who knows? Rumor has is that they're thinking about doing a draft, another draft. So who
Yeah,
knows if someone from NXT is going to be called up?
it's
Well,
possible.
realistic, yeah. Well, if you look at like right now, because weirdly now the women's roster, they don't give them enough time to tell a lot of stories. So is there really any room to add a losing Julia or a losing Jordan Grace or a losing Stephanie Vacure on Raw or SmackDown?
Hmm.
Like the women's United States and the women's IC title belts are already well spoken for, and the main event top title scenes aren't overly crowded. So if you
Hmm.
throw them up on the main roster, what are you going to do with them? Just have them sit there in catering, and then about a year later they get released and then sign with AEW?
Yeah, I
I
think
think I
good.
think like the US title, I think could use a little bit more depth, more competitors. Because I mean, I love Mi Chin,
But it's literally only been
but
like
how many fucking times are we going to see Mi Chin versus Chelsea?
it's been like every other week, and then it went to what's her name? The only two people that she fought is Mi Chin and the other chick from
Zelina.
oh, she did face Lena. No, the other girl, with the braids, that was part of like Top
Oh,
Dollar.
Fab.
I'll be
BFAB.
fab.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, like, so I think that that could use a little bit more depth, like one other person, but yeah, no, I mean, if I was any of those girls, I would hate to be called up. Like honestly, because I mean, in NXT knows how to do the stories. They know how to give women time. And
it's so much
for their
stronger.
stories,
Their division in NXT is
uh-huh.
not even comparable.
There's not a single jobber on that in that roster,
Nope.
I don't think.
Well, you look at
Yeah,
NXT, half of their matches usually are women's matches every single
yeah,
show.
And it's an hour shorter.
yes. Like that's which I don't want to complain too much about the Triple H era because it's been leaps and bounds better than the Vince McMahon ran shows, but
Mhm.
they're not really giving the women enough time. They
Which
have the talent,
Unless your
and
name
like
is
this is
Rhea Ripley or Bianca Belair, you kind of get put to
yeah,
the wayside.
which
yeah,
is it
but
it's fucking nuts too. They don't give them enough time, and yet we have two big stars, Kyrie and Asuka, who is Triple H's girl, injured. And when they come back, like they don't already give people enough time. So what the fuck? We're gonna have two other people. They're just gonna throw them in damage control again.
yeah. Well, to be fair, that's an wide problem
Uh-huh.
because he's not giving the women enough time either. But I know we're gonna get into a little bit of that later on. But like this is me, being an ally saying, do better. Like we can give them time.
Mhm.
They can go, give them the matches. It's working in NXT.
Mhm.
I don't know if anyone will listen to this that has the power to give them more matches, but give them more matches.
Give them more matches, give them more time, give them more stories.
Well, look at Raw, for example. Lyra Valkyrie and Bailey. That match was fucking great.
Uh-huh.
Like, they definitely can throw out these bangers. There's been plenty of matches that were like this match has no right to be as good as it fucking is, and they do it.
Yeah.
Well, remember what we were talking about on the last podcast when we were talking about Charlotte and Tiffany. We all agreed that it's going to be at least a 3.5 to a 4-star match. That like our views may have changed about it a little bit, but we wouldn't have cared. But we knew they could go
Mhm.
because they can go.
They both can cook.
Well, that's a good segue. So speaking of Charlotte and Tiffany, so for those who watched SmackDown, things kind of went off the rails a little bit. We
A little.
definitely mentioned at the beginning of the podcast, but that Chicago crowd was hot for Tiffany Stratton. And Charlotte definitely got a little flustered, and some things were said. Charlotte being 0-3 in her divorces, Tiffany Stratton have a squeaky voice, as well as Ludwig Kaiser being in Charlotte's DMs. So, what are your guys' thoughts on everything that happened, do you think that that honestly made this feud better, worse? It made them look like children. What do we got for input here? Britton, why don't you start?
So I think it made the feud a little bit better, but not by much. Like it's knowing so the fact that we know that they went off script is a bad thing, in my opinion. Like if they wanted us to get more interested in the match, this personal rivalry, this personal anger and hatred between the two of them should have been forefront and center versus the I am the queen and I'm you should be thankful you have a match that they've been doing. But like I was saying, they're going to put on a great match. They're going to put on an amazing match. The
Mhm.
problem is it's still going to be the beer match. It's still going to be the match that you can go and grab your plate of nachos and you can go and go and flip that burger on the grill and then come back and you'll be okay if you miss a good segment of it because it just the feud is missing something, in my opinion.
Mhm.
It's still like the fire is now there, but it just doesn't feel like a WrestleMania caliber program, if that
It
makes sense.
it's like a this would be a great feud for, like, Backlash or
Yeah,
Yes.
Clash of the Castle,
I
and
agree.
I think do you think now, Britton, you did mention the fire being there now. Do you think one of the reasons why is because that fire being there is too little too late?
Yes. With them trying like I think Charlotte kind of knew that this feud was just kind of dead in the water, and I think that's why she went off script the second time. The first time I think was an ego trip, but I think the second time was, hey, I am losing control of the crowd, but I know I can make this feud hot. They love her. Let them hate me more. And while the anger seemed genuine, it is too little too late. We're 10 days away. That promo was what, 14 days away from 15 days away from WrestleMania,
Yep.
Yeah.
and there's nothing to build on it. Like they have this Friday SmackDown and then the go home show, which is going to essentially be USA's hey, we want our own SmackDown, our own WrestleMania, just in case you don't have Peacock.
This is where you're gonna go this is where the titles that aren't going to be defended at Mania are gonna be defended.
Yeah, so it's gonna be like that. That SmackDown's gonna have a lot of vignettes to try to hype up WrestleMania. Which, in my opinion, if you really need to hype up WrestleMania the day before WrestleMania, there's an issue.
And then you
But
potentially the last 2 years, that's when the Andre the Giant battle royal. So that's a good 40 minutes of the show.
yep. So everything that needs to be said for this feud has already been said, and that like is that a good parting shot? Yes. Does it make me more interested? Not really. Like a little bit, but not really.
Are you shocked that either one of you that Charlotte got that flustered, being the veteran that she is, that she just didn't talk right through it, ignoring it, that she literally stopped and you could see it on her face that she was like visually, physically upset that I cannot talk. I start talking, I'm getting the Dominic Mysterio treatment here. What the hell?
I think it's less of flustered and more frustrated. I think she's because Charlotte can cook. She is a professional on the mic and in the ring. I think that she's just getting frustrated at how going off of what Britton was saying, going how it's going along, how the feud has kind of been muddied and kind of blasé, if you will.
Yeah, agreed.
So I think it's less of flustered and more frustrated.
But it's not to say that Charlotte hasn't been flustered by the crowd before,
Oh,
because
she
we all
definitely
remember
has.
the uh, the the English crowd singing for Bailey
Oh yeah.
while Charlotte's trying to talk, and
Just literally
she
standing there with their arms crossed.
Mhm.
yes, just so frustrated, saying, "I will never forget this. I will never forgive you guys." No,
You're
this
so
didn't
true.
feel it. It didn't feel like the crowd got to her. She's just I don't know. It's
She's almost trying too hard.
yes.
To be the
She's
heel.
Yeah. She's trying way too hard to make, mountains out of anthills,
I
if
had
that's
a
the right saying.
horrible, terrible thought that the best thing sometimes is for someone to go away and be able to work on their character and to have more freedom. and I don't wish it upon her, but if she went to like an Impact or an AEW for a little while where she could have more character freedom and expand on their character to be something other than just I'm Ric Flair's daughter and I'm the queen and I'm the best.
Mhm.
Maybe we could come back
Agree.
and find a better Charlotte.
Yeah. Yeah, I think she can do wonders. She would do wonders in yeah, TNA or AEW or hell, even go over to Japan. I think she could do wonders there and really reinvent herself, kinda like what Sasha Banks did with Mercedes
Yes.
Moné,
Yeah,
or
you're
like
right,
what
right.
Tony Storm did, or what Swerve did, is currently doing.
Yes. Same thing with an AJ Styles who completely reinvented himself going from TNA to Japan to then back to stateside.
Yeah, I agree. I think something definitely needs to happen, but we'll see what happens at Mania. Unfortunately, I still think Charlotte wins, gets her 14 title, but Charlotte's average title reigns are only like 2.5 months, so probably a backlash or another pay per view she drops it again because that seems to be the routine with her. But
Yep.
Or hell, the Raw after Mania,
or that too.
or the SmackDown after Mania.
Tiffany though was definitely strong comparison to their video interview. That video interview that they had, Charlotte just ramsacked Tiffany, and it made Tiffany look so bad. It was awful. And this honestly to me helped Tiffany look stronger, which I think it kind of sparks some things, but we'll see. Uh, and then speaking of sparking some interest in rivalries, so obviously on Raw we saw Gunther versus Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, sorry,
Jimmy.
good old Big Jim here, and Gunther left Jimmy in a pile of his blood. The shot was amazing. You have Jey
Mm,
Uso handcuffed, well zip tied to the rope, reaching out for his brother while Gunther applies a sleeper hold. Jimmy's just gushing blood. Gunther stands up, smears his blood all over his body, even licks his finger with his blood on it. Crazy. Come Raw, Jimmy wasn't there obviously, so then but Jay came out, essentially said, "I'm not scared of you anymore, Gunther, and at WrestleMania,
yeet,
you're gonna see the real me, and I'm gonna kick your
yeet,
ass."
yeet.
My brother's in the
To me,
hospital. Yeet.
yeah, the most important part of that promo to me was the small subtlety.
Mhm.
His music hit and the crowd started doing the yeet,
And
but
he
he
did
didn't.
nothing. He
He
didn't.
didn't do a single one.
Well, he even
He
tried to
walked in,
calm the crowd down.
yeah,
Mhm.
like
He tried to get the people to
he
stop
walked
yeeting.
in serious. He walked in as a serious wrestler, which ironically is what Gunther was trying to get him to be the entire time.
Mhm.
So
It's
go ahead.
this right here was the best promo Jey Uso has ever done. Everything about it was perfect. It's the intensity that I have been wanting to see from this guy, since he got into the main event scene.
Agreed.
He was in that ring, he felt like a contender. He felt like a legitimate contender for the belt.
It made me actually want to watch this match more.
Hmm.
Like the quiet calm of I'm going to pray for forgiveness for who I have to become for what I have to do to you.
Great line.
That's a good that's a great line.
It
That's
is.
that's saying I'm going to do something that is so not my character that I don't know if I'm going to come back from it. I don't know if God's going to forgive me, which is an amazing thought process
Mhm.
for the psychology.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was phenomenal.
it's finally something. It is finally something other than goofy, happy-go-lucky Yeet boy, and that's what I've
It's
been
just
wanting
me,
to
Oos.
see. Yeet, the whole Jey Uso thing, you guys know, I have been very critical of Jey Uso.
Oh yeah,
Very critical. He's
And
the
rightfully so.
Yeah, exactly, rightfully so. He like, what he has been able to do naturally, wonderful, incredible. Like, he should be applauded. But up until that point right there, there's no reason he should have been in the title scene, because his whole gimmick of just yeeting with the crowd isn't a main event thing. That's, I hate to say it, but that's like a US title thing.
yeah.
That's a US title thing. But now that he has it, he finally has that fire in his eyes and the fire in that promo. I can confidently say this man is now ready for the main event scene.
Yeah.
He is now ready for it.
Yeah, yeah,
So
definitely added another level. Go ahead.
I'll throw this question out there for both of you. Now that you say he's elevated himself to the main event level, has he elevated himself that you see him as as the champion?
Go ahead, James.
If he keeps up this intensity, yes. I could see him winning the belt later down the line. But I know exactly what's gonna happen is he's going to slay the dragon. He's gonna take down Gunther, and then he's going to go back to happy go lucky eat boy.
Yep, for sure.
Which I think would be a horrible mistake, especially since Money in the Bank isn't like right around the corner. Like if Money in the Bank was around the corner, it would be great to have him win the title, have his little moment in the sun, so that way him and Rikishi are both happy, and then have him lose it to the Money in the Bank winner.
Drew McIntyre situation.
Yes.
Yeah, I can see that. I think he's gonna win regardless. 100. I don't see after what happened to Jey Uso and being in that crazy pool of blood and the fact Gunther put it all over him, like I'm the fucking heel of this company right now, which he did solidify him with that. But I
Mhm. Oh
think
yeah.
that Jay wins, and maybe he loses it back to Gunther or maybe somebody else because I don't know when Money in the Bank is, and I don't. It's
I'll
probably
take a look.
mid-year here, I would assume, but I can definitely see. I don't know. It's a mixed bag, and depending on
June
where
7th
June 7th.
in Los Angeles.
Yeah, maybe that's not too crazy far away. So May, June, 2 months. Uh, yeah, it's possible. So we'll see. But at the same time, I think the person who has the Money in the Bank contract holds off because Drew McIntyre, if you remember last year, he cashed in the same night and then lost, and then they got rid of his briefcase, so he had it for a total of like an hour and a half. But
Yeah, I I don't know. I'm just I think I'm less interested in this match itself and more interested on the ramification of Jay's character going forward.
because
That
eventually
that's
the whole day one ish, the yeet and everything, like it'll go for a while, but then it'll become stale after a certain period of time. Unfortunately.
It's a
well.
gimmick that's destined to be a flash in the pan.
Honestly, if you look at the crowd reaction now, it is getting less and
Mhm,
less, and you can
mhm,
tell it's getting less and less. And it's a good gimmick. It's
mhm,
coming in through the crowds. Always going to get pop.
mhm,
It's always going to get a pop because it gives fans the potential chance to interact with the wrestlers.
mhm.
But at some point, so I think about the original Usos with the weird face paints and
Musa
how
Mo, Musa Mo.
yeah, and how bad they were. Not bad in the ring, like bad character wise. And then all of a sudden they came with their
Uso
day one.
Penitentiary. Yeah.
Yep, and
Mhm.
it just took fire because they became serious and they stayed serious even through the bloodline stuff. And now Jay's a little goofy, and it's going to take a serious character to really get the crowd back behind them like he had during the penitentiary era.
Or at the beginning, more when he was for going for the Intercontinental Championship. Like that
Yes,
crowd every week was on fire for him when he was trying to go against Gunther at the time and then Braun Breaker.
Mhm.
Because when he beat Braun for the IC title, that crowd went insane. And then he lost it 3 weeks later.
Yep.
they need to stop with these short title reigns. Like it
Stop
invalidates
playing
the title.
stop playing hot potato.
Yes,
Yep. Don't give it to somebody unless you have a plan, like Shinsuke Nakamura, sidebar. Same thing. Like
Oh
James
god.
said when LA Knight won it back, first thing James was like, what was the point?
His first title defense was him losing the fucking belt, and
Yep.
he didn't have the belt. Have him you are a fucking fraud. You are trash garbage, my friend, because god damn it. You could have had to even if you didn't wanna put him on fucking TV, for whatever reason, if you didn't wanna put Shinsuke on TV, throw him over in Noah. Have him have some matches in Noah to defending the US belt. Do something for God's sake.
Yeah, yeah, that's.
But I can go on a long rant and I'm not we're not doing that today.
We'll save that. I'll write it down. We'll bookmark that for the next podcast here.
Well,
Call it.
next podcast we're gonna be talking about Mania.
Oh,
So
that's true. So
Yeah,
we'll
yeah.
name it
Next
short
podcast
title
is
reigns.
yeah. And next podcast is Mania and the Ram.
It's
yep.
true. Hey, you never know if a Stephanie Valkyr or even a LA Knight loses. Short title reign. So we'll see. Next piece of business, next big announcement. So CM Punk, Seth frickin' Rollins, and Roman Reigns are officially the main event of night one, because then you would expect John Cena and Cody Rhodes to be the main event of night two, which the progression there would make sense. So with that, Roman Reigns will officially hold the record for the most main events in WrestleMania history at 11, breaking his tie with the Hulk Hogan.
Fuck the
And
Hulk Hogan.
with CM Punk coming out saying that his favor is to actually have Paul Heyman come to the ring and be ringside for CM Punk, not Roman Reigns. And then on Raw, Seth Rollins almost curb stomps Paul Heyman into the ground, stops, leans over, says, "Now you owe me a favor." So a
That's not how
couple,
favors work, Seth.
so a couple things here. One, your thoughts on this being the main event of night one, let's just call it. And then two, is that favor that CM Punk initiated, is it even of interest? And then three, who do you think wins, and what is Seth Rollins' favor?
So I think it shouldn't be the main event. I think either the World Heavyweight title, the SmackDown Women's and Raw Women's. Let's just call it that. I forget which one's which. One
Yeah,
of those three should be the main event of night one.
agreed.
It's stupid that this match is the main event, but whatever. It is what it is. Can't change it. The I think Punk's gonna win because they haven't given Punk like a major victory in his time in WWE yet, other than at least singles victory by himself so far. And I think this would be his, hey, we're serious about you being one of the top guys. And I think what Seth Rollins said about now you owe me a favor, I think that was just a throwaway line. I don't think anything's gonna come of it.
Okay, I like that. What about you, Britton?
So I disagree. I actually think this makes sense to be the main event, and it's no disrespect to the Raw Women's or the SmackDown Women's title. The reason why I think it should be the main event is it's the biggest stars by draw.
Mm.
Like by far, most people are going like the stars they want to see are Seth Rollins, CM Punk, and Roman Reigns. And this match is so big that they don't actually need a title to make it impactful. And with that, so if you have that just in the middle of WrestleMania, it doesn't make sense. So the only other thing that I could see them having, other places I could see them putting it is to open up night one. And even then, to me, that doesn't do it justice. It doesn't let the story cook because you can still do something backstage with Paul Heyman still being iffy on how he's going to handle the match. And I agree with you, James. I think the Seth Rollins line was a throwaway line. Like nothing's gonna come of it. I think he's gonna try to say something about it again on Raw, but there's no favor that Paul Heyman's gonna actually owe to Seth Rollins. I think CM Punk wins this one. And I think as this is gonna sound horrible, but I think CM Punk wins it as a big middle finger to AEW to say, hey, you had him and he
You
didn't know how
fucking
to use
dropped the
them.
ball.
Look what we can do with him.
Look at all these fucking people we can do shit with.
So,
Yes.
so that would be
and it honestly, Roman Reigns can take an L at Mania, and Seth Rollins can
yeah,
take an L at Mania. Like it
yeah.
won't hurt their stock, but it will elevate CM Punk even more. Not that he needs to be elevated more, but it's going to put CM Punk in it at a level that is almost automatic Hall of Fame because now he's a main event winner, a
Mhm.
WrestleMania main event winner. Which that's there's not a lot of people that have that title.
No, and I think it will help. I think the stock of CM Punk is already solidified for, like, us.
Yep,
The even I would say even, like, your moderate wrestling fans, but what's more important is the stock for CM Punk of the new fans coming in,
agreed.
Yeah,
and I think that's what's really gonna help because he doesn't need any higher stock from us. We
No.
already know CM Punk's great.
Yep.
We already know he's the best in the world. But what about the people that this is the first time they started watching when it came on Netflix, and this is their first Mania? Well, they don't know the whole story of CM Punk. They haven't seen CM Punk be one of the most dominant WWE champions in the modern era, so they don't know that he is the guy.
Oh, that was me. There we go. So I have a little bit of different take on this situation here, and I was thinking about this the other day, yesterday actually. So I love the fact that it's the main event. I hate the way they presented it. To me, that was awful. There was no build up. He goes through a contract. Dude, you're in the main event. Okay, can we move on? Oh, cool. I'm in the main event. Okay, that was super anticlimactic. But to me, that should have been more. It should have been. They should have presented it a different way. But when you give these three the last segment on Raw and SmackDown, the last 4 weeks with 10 minutes to go, what the fuck can you do about it? Nothing, unfortunately. So because between the three of them, the other champions outside of Rhea Ripley and Bianca and Io don't have the star power. Gunther, yes, 100%. But I think the three of them outweigh Gunther and Jey Uso. Charlotte and Tiffany don't have the star power combined that the three of them have. And then the only one that's close is your Bianca, Rhea, and Io. But still, I think the three of them kind of uh, the three men outshine the three women. I think that Io, Rhea, and Bianca will be the second match, the co-main event of night two, solidifying that as they'll still call it a main event, but I think that'll be the co-main event of night
Oh, we're
two, giving
so
it
what you're
a
saying is we're gonna get that like that one Mania where we had like 8 main
yep.
events?
This is a main event too. This is a main event as well. Yeah,
The
no.
first fucking match is the main event.
So I think that's how that plays out. I think that in a concept of kind of moving Paul Heyman around, it's interesting to me because now it's under the skin of Roman Reigns. And it's like, well, no, he was my guy first. Before he was Brock Lesnar, before he was yours, CM Punk was the original Paul Heyman guy. But I do think that Seth Rollins is, you owe me a favor now, will hold light at WrestleMania. And I think what'll happen, and this is just a shot in the dark, is that his favor will be kept a secret until the end of the match, where then he screws over both CM Punk and Roman Reigns and sides with Seth Rollins, officially making Seth Rollins a heel, putting Paul Heyman back as a heel manager, which he is so good at, and then CM Punk goes over for the win, basically sticking it to CM Punk, which he's been trying to do for years and years and years and years and years, as well as sticking it to Roman Reigns, which is a 10, 11 year in the making match. So I was thinking about that yesterday, is that I can potentially see a swerve like that happening where no one's expecting it. It's a no disqualification match anyways, so that's Seth Rollins' favor, is that no, you're gonna fucking help me beat these two because first off, like he said, is like neither one of them care about you. You got your ass kicked by Solo Sikoa. Roman Reigns was nowhere to be found. CM Punk left 10 years ago. He didn't talk to you for 10 years. He doesn't care about you. And I think potentially we can see a story with that evolve and then we move forward and then we have the first match between Seth Rollins and CM Punk. CM Punk won this triple threat. potentially Seth Rollins wins, and then we'll have the trifecta, as we always get in rivalries, somewhere else down the road. So possibly. That's just I was thinking about that yesterday as to what could potentially happen, which may be that. So, I don't know. I'm thinking we get a little bit of a swerve, but who knows? And then, so a little, losing my train of thought here, sorry. Couple little quick tidbits. So, kind of going into WrestleMania, kind of skipping over one segment here. So, one thing we definitely talked about last week was, well, 2 weeks ago, was all the matches um, at WrestleMania currently. So they did add a couple extra ones, so that are finally uh, official. So Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano, and the next match, Penta versus Dominic Mysterio versus Finn Balor versus Braun Breaker. Next match, Rhea Ripley versus Bianca versus Io Sky. The women's tag team title match, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez versus a winner of a six-pack challenge match that I think will happen on SmackDown, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so.
LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu for the United States Championship. So all those matches have been confirmed, which brings us to 11 matches. Last year's WrestleMania had 14. The WrestleMania before that had 15. Still no secondary women's matches. Nothing for the IC title. Nothing for either of the men's tag titles, and nothing for the United States Championship. So, kind of going down that list, and then potentially 3 more matches. Who do you think's going to win? And what matches do you want to see that have not been addressed yet? So, Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano. What do you guys think?
Do you want me to? I have both Mania and Stand and Deliver cards up. I can
Oh
just
yeah,
go
just
down
go
and
down the
look
list.
what's
Yep, the
confirmed,
official list.
and then we can talk about if things should be added.
Yeah, of course. One thing that's not on there though, but it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen on Raw because Damian Priest is calling out Drew McIntyre to accept this challenge at WrestleMania. So that's part of the 11, but it's not actually confirmed. But it's gonna be confirmed on Monday.
Yeah.
So go ahead, James. What do we got so far?
So I guess we start off with Stand and Deliver because that's the first one in the wee early hours for you, Walker,
Yeah, fucking
at like 9:30 in the morning.
9 o'clock in the morning.
I guess some
Nuts.
people in production aren't happy because they have to be there at like 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yep.
Ooh.
Finished getting everything
Yeah.
set up, and then they have to stay
And-
there all the way through WrestleMania.
Ooh.
Yep.
Yep.
Deliver was at a different arena. I didn't think it was at Allegiant.
No,
It is?
It's at
It's not the basketball
It's where
stadium.
the Golden Knights play.
Yeah.
yeah,
But still,
T-Mobile
though,
Arena, yeah.
they still have to get there super early and then leave to go to where WrestleMania is.
Yeah.
So-
I'm curious how far it is.
I don't think it's far.
When I went to
I think it's pretty
WrestleMania in LA, it was about a 35-minute drive from where because it was at the cryptocurrency arena where Stand and Deliver was, and then we had to drive to SoFi Stadium where the Rams played for WrestleMania. That shit was fun. But go ahead,
Yeah.
sorry.
Sorry, hold on, I'm looking up. It's about a 4-minute drive.
Oh, well, that's fucking much better. Yeah, that wasn't
It
like
is
that in LA.
right down the road. Yeah, it is literally right down the road.
Yeah, that's not.
Yeah.
Oh, gee, that's much better. Yeah, when I went to WrestleMania, the two were literally on the complete opposite ends of the city of each other, and then you had to go through downtown LA to
Oof.
get to SoFi Stadium. Yeah, that shit
Ooh.
fucking sucked.
Well, that's the beauty of how Las Vegas is designed. Is all the tourism is in like a compacted area.
Yep,
And
it's
so
literally like 2 streets.
Yep.
Pretty much.
So it's not difficult to get to one place to another on the compacted area, unless it's just like a ton of people. Like, but if you're driving, which if you're trying to drive down the strip, you're an idiot.
Yep.
Yeah, then yeah, it's gonna be a while.
Yeah, that's
I
gonna
miss
be
living in
interesting.
Vegas.
And then you have all the extra shit after night 1 of WrestleMania. You have to go to. There's clubs. There's a ton of shit. There's so much
Mm.
they're doing.
Oh yeah, it would be fun just to be in the city that week
Oh, that'd
Oh
be
because
yeah,
they're
amazing.
doing stuff all week long.
you has 11 shows over the weekend.
Well,
11 shows.
I know it's not on our list, but it brings me to a question that I thought about: is this too much wrestling in a small span of time?
I think so.
Like we love wrestling, but like we were talking about with Stand and Deliver, it starts at what 9 in the morning for you out there in Phoenix.
Yep. Well, you got to think about it. So you have SmackDown. An hour after SmackDown, you have the Hall of Fame ceremony. Literally
Yep,
less than 12 hours after that, you have Stand and Deliver. 5 hours
yep.
after that, you have WrestleMania. Then you have whatever they're doing. The next
Oh,
day,
is it the nightclub?
yeah.
I think.
Yeah,
And then you have WrestleMania the next day. Then you have, well, before WrestleMania, you have the Undertaker's show. Then you have WrestleMania. Then you have the roast of WrestleMania. Then you have Raw. Then you have NXT. It's just like Jesus.
yeah.
Mhm.
And that's not including the other shows that are going to be in the area to try to just get wrestling fans to show up to their stuff
You
too.
have
Like,
Wrestling
Guaranteed.
World, WWE. You
yes,
have WrestleCon, which is not affiliated with WWE, that has like 100 Hall of Famers or some shit that are coming. That's a whole nother thing.
I'm
like
sure Future Stars of Wrestling is going to have a big show because they're located out in Las Vegas. Again,
I
GCW has a few shows.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
it's a lot, and I love being able to spend like an entire day to be like, okay, hey, it's me and the guys, and we're all watching wrestling. We like the WrestleMania parties that we had at your place back in the day when you lived in Lake City. A blast
Yep. Oh, that was amazing.
because we showed up, we all just got together, we all were able to BS and just had a good time. But even though it was the extended WrestleMania cards from back in the day that were like
God,
6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours long,
it was a full
but
fucking
it
work
was
day.
done. Yeah, but it was done. Like WrestleMania night one is gonna probably be 4 hours at least. And night two is going to be 4 hours at least. And Stand and Deliver is going to be at
Probably
least
three.
2 hours.
Yeah.
Probably
Probably, yeah.
3.
Yeah, probably 3 hours.
Yeah. You
Like,
have WrestleCon. I just counted. There is 61 wrestlers that'll be there that you can see, and that's not even affiliated with WWE.
Mhm.
like we all love wrestling, but like, thank God AEW is not in the area. Can you
100%.
imagine the zoo if AEW was in Vegas that week for Dynamite?
It's honestly too much. I'm gonna I won't be able to watch fucking Effie's Big Gay Brunch because because NXT is running at the same time.
Sure is. Oh, Alicia Fox is gonna be at WrestleCon. Her name is Vix Crow now.
So let's get to these matches,
Yeah.
shall we?
Yeah,
So I'm just gonna go with the matches that we have an absolute confirmed one for NXT because so like we're not gonna have the the ladder match for the NXT women's because we're still missing 2 people. The Fatal 4-Way for the NXT Women's Championship: Stephanie Vaquer versus Julia versus Jordan Grace versus Jada. Who do you think?
Right off rip, I think I want to say Jordan, but I think Stephanie retains.
I agree. I think Stephanie retains. It's too soon to take the belt off of her. She's got to at least have one defense.
And I triple that. So yep, Stephanie Vaquer. It's clean sweep. So no Nathan Frazier and no Fraxium versus whomever the winner of the gauntlet match is. No Ricky Saints versus whoever wins the Fatal 4-Way. So the what's probably going to be the main event: the triple threat: Obafemi versus Trick Williams versus Javon Evans.
I think Obafemi retains. Trick Williams goes to Raw or SmackDown the following week.
I
Okay.
think Oba retains, and then the Dark Star come and attack afterwards. Even though I know they're trying to build the program with the family, but I think Dark Star attacks afterwards, and they build a program with whoever they want to push the most from that group.
Oh yeah. Also,
Ooh.
we figure out who I think we figure out who the leader is of Dark Star.
Yeah. Yeah. Like if there's someone pulling the strings behind.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah. If there's somebody,
Okay.
because I originally thought it was going to be Trick Williams, that he was secretly the leader, But maybe we get a swerve and it's Javon Evans.
Yeah. Well,
See,
if you remember that match from Tuesday, if you guys, I don't know if you guys watched the NXT
mhm,
match
we
on
did.
Tuesday, but they both Trick Williams and Obafemi left Javon Evans just in the ring against them, and he just got annihilated. So I think either he it comes out that it was part of them or he joins them.
Yeah, I can see that where he then uses that to his advantage.
So my thoughts here, and I never really thought about Javon Evans either running the show or because honestly, Javon Evans is the only one that's really scared of Dark State. He's the only one that's like, guys, we need to really focus on them, which a little bit of red flags now, think in hindsight. But I think Javon wins because Dark State helps him.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah,
And then it's revealed that he is the leader of, or he's the leader of Dark State. So
Yeah,
just mine. So.
no, I like that idea actually. That actually makes a lot of sense.
yeah,
I can see that happening.
yeah.
And then let me get to the right one here for Mania 41. Uh so many. Okay, so Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair
Charlotte.
for Mania.
I
I
I I think it's Charlotte, but it should be Tiffany.
I'm in the same boat. It should be Tiffy, but I think it's gonna be Charlotte. Gunther versus Jey Uso for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Jey
Something
Uso.
similar here. Yeah. I think it's same thing like with Tiffy and Charlotte. It should be Gunther, but it's going to be Jay.
See, now if you were to ask me about 2-3 weeks ago who I think will win, I would have said Gunther by a country mile. But after what has happened these past 2 weeks on Raw, I think Jay is going to win, and then he's going to have a completely different character. Like, this match is going to change him.
I can see it.
Yeah.
Walker, who do you think's going to win?
I think it is Jey Uso.
Okay. Roman Reigns versus CM Punk with Paul Heyman versus Seth Rollins in the triple threat.
For me, kind of like I said earlier, I think it is going to be Seth. It could be CM Punk. I'm still sliding on that too. It's not going to be Roman. He has. I
Mhm.
think we won't see Roman for a while after this match. I
Yeah.
think it'll be closer to SummerSlam before we see Roman again, just because that's literally built into his contract where he makes a boatload of fucking money and doesn't have to work.
Oh, that
And
Brock Lesnar schedule. I like it.
exactly. And he's even flat out said that's the case. So I think if it's not CM Punk, it's Seth Rollins because Seth Rollins gets Paul Heyman to turn on both of them.
Mm.
I still say it's CM Punk, and I think it's I think it's Triple H's big middle finger to AEW. And I'm with you, Walker. It's not going to be Roman Reigns. Like it doesn't make sense to have him win this one.
So it's kind of funny about saying that CM Punk winning, which who I think is going to win is the big middle finger to because we have that. We have Cody Rhodes in the main event of literally everything, the biggest star in the company. And then
Ricky
you
Saints.
have Ricky Saints, Ethan Page, Sean Spears, and Lexus King all in a feud together
Yep.
Yep.
for a title.
Which is great.
So according to Wikipedia, those 3 matches are night 1.
Okay.
So night 2, we have Io versus Bianca versus Rhea for the Women's World Championship.
You go first.
I have a weird hot take for you guys.
What do we got?
Bianca's undefeated at WrestleMania.
Oh, she
I
Is
think
she?
the
is, isn't
streak
she?
continues. I think the streak continues, and I think they start talking about it next year or the year after.
The new Undertaker?
Yep.
I can see it. Possible. I think it's Io. As much as I want it to be Rhea Ripley, because I love
You're
Rhea
the Io
and
Sky?
I'm not an Io Sky person at all. I the crowd is just so much hotter for Rhea constantly. They're over Bianca and Io. When she starts fighting those two, then she gets a pop. But instantly Rhea gets the pop. I want Rhea to win, but I think it's going to be Io just based off of the fact that every time Bianca and Rhea are in the ring, all they do is shove Io out of the way, like get out of my face. So that's why I think she wins. She takes down the two biggest women wrestlers that there is.
I think I agree 100% with it. Not with not with some of those takes at the beginning, but I think Io is going to I think Io's going to win it, and this is going to cement her as an actual legitimate world champion.
I like it.
Last match they have for night 2 is Cody versus Cena.
I think it's Cody Rhodes. I don't think they give it to John Cena just yet. I think they hold off. That something's gonna happen where John Cena and The Rock. John Cena loses. The Rock comes out basically, what the fuck? You're a piece of shit. John Cena gives the attitude adjustment to The Rock, becomes an instant face, and then we go from there.
I I think you're right about something like that happening between The Rock and John Cena, but I think you have the wrong pay-per-view. I think he wins it at Mania and starts a reign of terror with The Rock, and then loses it either at SummerSlam or Survivor Series, and then finishes the year as a face.
Okay, okay.
See, Britton, I somewhat agree with your statement here. I think Cena is going to win it, and then he is going to keep the belt. Just keep it.
Like you
He's
said.
gonna he's going to retire.
Uh,
He wanted to ruin wrestling. He came here, he became a heel to ruin wrestling. So guess what? He's gonna take that belt with him when he retires. He's gonna leave. I think there's like the last big event during John Cena's farewell tour is in Boston for a Saturday night main event, and he's just gonna leave. He's gonna win it. He's gonna retain it, and he's just gonna leave. And then guess what? I just fucked over everything. I just threw a huge wrench in all of y'all's plans. So that's my last middle finger out the door.
so I like that and I can see it, but they do a CM Punk where CM Punk wins the title, leaves. They do a match down the road, like at another pay per view, for the new title, because obviously they're not just going to not have a title. For the new
Mhm.
title, the winner of the match gets their hands raised. It's Cody Rhodes or whatever. John Cena comes out with the title. Like, I'm the champion. What do you mean? You're not the champion. And then we have a title versus title match at some point.
Mhm. At Mania next year.
Yeah. So that's
But
possible.
with with Cena saying that he's done with wrestling at the end of this year, though, like,
It'd have to be this year
I,
sometime.
yeah, it would have to be like what in my weird fantasy booking mind. So he wins it, and The Rock and Cena have this just weird but really cold hearted faction where they just do whatever they want because he's the champion and because The Rock's the final boss,
Hmm.
and they stupidly give Cody a rematch at SummerSlam with like a stipulation of if you lose, you can never challenge for the title again, or something like that. And it's bloodline rules, and all these people who like join this little "I'm just gonna suck up to the Rock" faction do everything in their power to stop Cody. Cody doesn't get help, but he overcomes it. And then that following Monday on after SummerSlam, The Rock chews out Cena, and they have a mini feud to end the year.
See, normally I would agree with you on this. But if there's one thing that I've learned in the many years of watching wrestling is never say never. Because how many last Ric Flair matches have we seen?
Oh
Oh
my god, I
God,
know.
How many times have we seen so and so is never going to wrestle again?
yeah,
Bryan Danielson. How many times have we seen these two they will never work together? WWE and TNA. So when John Cena says, I am done with wrestling after this year, I'm officially retired, I am immediately calling bullshit. I will believe it. I will believe John Cena is 100% retired from wrestling when the news comes out that he passed away.
Yeah, I know.
Because again, also look at The Rock. The Rock's too much of a big star to be wrestling anymore.
Yep.
Well, guess what? He wrestled fucking last year, you know? So, just saying, John Cena saying, "Oh, I'm done at the end of this year." Well, you know what? I don't believe you, Mr. Jonathan Santa. I don't believe you, Bing chilling guy.
So was every other wrestler that said they were done. So
Exactly.
there was one that was confirmed. L.A. Knight versus Jacob Fatu. That is a confirmed match for the United States Championship because Jacob Fatu won that match against Braun
Braun.
Strowman, the last man standing match. Do you
So there's
think?
actually a few here that say that they're confirmed for Mania, just not which night. There's
Um,
extras.
okay. Do you want to talk about those or just do the ones that are already?
We could do this just real quick
Yeah, go ahead.
because it's nothing too crazy. AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. I think we
Yep.
all know who we want to win.
Yep.
Yeah.
AJ, 100%.
100%.
Right, racist,
Well,
racist, homophobic boy, or racist and homophobic Georgia man, AJ Styles.
We want him to win.
We want him to win over the literal piece, the fucking closest thing to the devil we have, Logan Paul.
but so AJ Styles being racist is new to me. What did he do?
Oh,
We'll talk about that after the podcast, not to stir
yeah.
any stir some shit up here. So we'll
Popped up recently.
we'll talk about that
But
after.
I'm not surprised. He's from Georgia.
He's from bumfuck nowhere, Georgia.
That's what we're saying. Let's get past that for now, shall we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just hilarious that we're rooting for him and not Logan Paul. Like Logan Paul's that bad. We hate that man so much. LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu. I want Fatu to win. I
He's
really
gonna
do. He's gonna win.
I think so too. I think so. I love LA Knight. He's one of my
Yeah.
favorites, but I think Jacob Fatu he's also a fucking absolute monster. So
He's the reason the fact that he doesn't have a belt on him yet is a goddamn travesty.
yep.
Yeah, he's gonna win, and he's gonna start a feud with Solo.
Oh, 100%.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Unless Solo
And
screws
it's
him
gonna
at WrestleMania.
and it's going to elevate the hell out of the US Championship.
Yep.
Yes.
It is going to be the next IC belt. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus gauntlet match winners. So
Yeah, I don't
we're not
even
talking
know.
about that
Yeah,
for the women's tag team. Jade Cargill versus Naomi.
I think Jade
I
wins.
think this is going to be the bathroom break match. Honestly,
No, I think that match is gonna be garbage.
I love them
Yeah.
both, but I think it's going to be Jade. Jade's going to win. I think Jade's going to win.
100%. She was out. She got hit. She got smashed into a car. It's not. Yeah, I feel like you can't not have her win.
Yeah, Triple H once again is giving the middle finger to Tony Khan.
Yep.
Yep. Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano.
I think El Grande wins.
I think so too.
I don't think you can
Yeah.
introduce this character to have him lose.
Is
Right.
El Grande Americano going to get unmasked? Are we going to find
No.
out who is behind El Grande?
It's actually Juan Cena.
Holy shit! It's Hulk Hogan. Fuck.
Like that's why their masks look the same. Oh, okay.
And then the final one that we have here is Braun Breaker versus Penta versus Finn versus Dominic for the IC belt.
I think it's Dominic Mysterio. I really do.
I hope it's Dom.
Like, it would be such a swerve. It'd be fucking amazing.
And then that starts Finn Balor versus leaving the Judgment Day and
facing Dom.
Dom.
Yeah, like you have to end the Judgment Day because let's be honest here. When the Judgment Day has been going on for so long that
5
people
years
forget.
now.
Yeah, Edge started it. He's been in AEW for like 2 years. It feels like.
And Judgment Day has served its purpose.
Yes.
I mean, they had all the belts
Judgment
at one
Day-
point, and now you move on.
Judgment Day started to elevate Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley, and boy howdy, it did more than elevate them.
Yep.
And then when they left and Finn came in, when Finn came in, it elevated them still. And then when Dom joined, again, it strapped a fucking rocket to his back. And even Liv, it elevated her too. It elevated it literally, like it is the perfect faction.
The only person that it didn't elevate was JD McDonough.
Well,
But
he
yeah,
kind of
that's because he
elevated
got hurt.
himself. He elevated himself when he got hurt. So there is that.
And who knows? He probably, if he would have been elevated, if he didn't puncture a lung.
Yeah.
So I would say the only person that it really didn't elevate was Carlito.
Yeah.
But we knew it wasn't going to elevate Carlito.
Yeah, he just kind of accepts his role now.
Yeah,
But is he actually part of Judgment Day officially?
he is.
Like, does he come out to Judgment Day music and they say Carlito representing the Judgment Day?
No, because he doesn't have a match. I don't think I've seen that man wrestle since he wrestled when he slapped Damian Priest when Damian went up against Bad Bunny. Or no, was he there? Yeah, he was there at that Backlash in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, he returned.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. I don't think Carlito has really had a match, period, since returning.
No, he hasn't.
He's been just there on the sidelines, collecting a paycheck, having fun, saying that's not cool.
Yep.
Um,
Go ahead.
I'm completely 100% up in the air. I have no idea who's gonna win it. I'm not even gonna guess. They all deserve the win.
That match, like we talked about the other day, I think will be the tied for first behind the triple threat at NXT. I think that match will cook. It's a no
Or
disqualification match. We're gonna see some things.
I think the three matches that can be the absolute like show stealers. That one, the IC belt match, the NXT title match, and the NXT Women's title match. I
Yeah,
think those three could be match of the weekend.
100%, 100% agree. So while we have some little bit of time left here, we got a little game we want to play to kind of cap off this podcast here. It's a little trivia game that James has here, Sir Jimmy Noodles, where it's a guessing game. So feel free to play along, and it's gonna be a gimmick. Go ahead, James. What is it called?
Yeah.
What are we doing? And go from there.
So here's something I figured it would be a little fun thing that we do, a trivia at the end of every episode now. Just a little fun little thing. So this is called What's in a Gimmick? So the premise of the game is to name that wrestler by their other gimmicks. So I'll give you, say, three options, or I'll give you three clues. The first clue, if you get it on the first clue, you get 3 points. You get it on the second clue, you get 2 points. And if you get it on the third clue, you get 1 point. Now, you two will be buzzing in with your own. We don't have buzzers, so you're just going to yell out sounds as the buzzer. So whoever wins will will be the person to make the game for next week
Perfect.
or for the next episode. So all right, contestants, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Was born ready.
All right. So number 1, the first clue is El Hoyo de Trump.
What?
And it gets progressively easier. I will say it gets progressively easier.
Okay.
I got
Each
nothing.
clue, you got nothing.
Yeah,
Okay. No
Clue
guesses.
2.
Okay. Clue number 2, Dick Rick.
I feel like this is shit I should know.
like it sounds so familiar.
You're going to get it on the next one. I guarantee it. So get your buzzers ready.
Okay.
Clue number 3, Eli Drake. Britton.
LA Night.
Yeah. Yes.
Damn it.
He did have a character named El Hoyo de Trump. Like Donald Trump at
Yes,
one
now
point.
that you said that, I do remember the Dick Rick or whatever it was. Fucking A. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so Britton, you get 1 point. All right, number 2. Question number 2. We have Lord of War. Lord of War.
Prince Albert.
No,
Okay, I got nothing.
you didn't buzz in either.
Oh no.
Clue number 2 is Antonio Banks.
God.
Antonio Banks.
Fucking still nothing.
Clue number 3, Montel Vontavious Porter.
I'll take MVP.
Damn it.
Yep.
Good shit. Okay.
All right. So, question number 3, Isaiah Scott. Isaiah Scott. Oh,
I'll
Britton?
take Swerve Strickland.
Oh boy, howdy! You got 3 big ones there, boy.
Boo! How many
Clue
questions are
number
left?
There's 5.
Okay, so
So we're gonna
I gotta get all.
Walker. You have to get this. Clue number 2 was going to be Killshot, and clue number 3 was Lieutenant Jermaine Strickland.
Good shit.
All right, so number 4. Clue number 1 is Midnight Angel.
Oh my god.
Nothing.
Nothing.
I'll buzz in. Buzz.
Okay.
Chris Daniels.
Nope. Walker, do you want to guess? Since you haven't guessed at all, I will give you. You don't lose points for guessing incorrectly.
Is it what the fuck's her name? Amber Moon?
No.
Okay.
Walker, you might get this one. Clue number 2, Hitokiri. Hitokiri.
I go, "Beep, beep." That's my buzz. Is it
Walker?
Io Sky?
It is Io Sky.
Let's go.
I was like, you fucking love that match, Walker.
Yep.
You love that match. That was when she fought against Penta
Yep.
in Lucha Underground.
That's why that's
The
how I
last
remembered.
clue number 3 was Io Shirai.
Oh, there you go.
All right, and the final one, Walker, you need to get this on clue 1
Yep.
to tie, and then we're fucked. I have no idea what we do on it. I'll quickly look up something. So number 5 is clue 1 is Keith David.
Brr.
David. Oh, Walker.
Is it Keith Lee?
Nope.
Nah, okay, never mind. I was going on the
Keith
first
David, you said?
Keith David. Yes, sir.
Is it David Otunga?
It is not.
name. Oh, that was a good guess. Okay, next clue.
All right, Britton, you might get this one. Clue number 2, itchweed.
Weed?
Itchweed.
Don't know.
Oh, I'm gonna be so mad. I'm gonna be
Throw
so
some
mad.
shit out. Throw some shit out. Hail Mary.
Is it ACH?
Nope. Walker.
Is it Tyson Kidd?
No.
No, I don't know.
Clue number 3, you guys better get it. It's going to be whoever guesses it first, whoever buzzes in first. Brother Nero.
Damn.
I will take Jeffrey Nero Hardy.
Correct.
When was those other two names? I thought he was always
So-
Jeff Hardy.
No. So Keith David was when he was on the indie scene before WWE.
Damn. Okay.
Itchweed was his name during the final that final deletion pay-per-view that TNA did. He was a character called Itchweed.
Had you dropped Willow, I would have gotten it too.
That's
Yeah.
why I didn't put Willow as number 2.
Okay, that makes more sense.
I wanted clue number 2 to still be a little hard, but not as easy as the third one.
Good shit.
All right. So, Jeremy,
Sir.
you got 2.
I did.
But Britton is our winner with a whopping 6 points.
Hell yeah, dude.
So,
Claps in chat.
so Britton, you get to pick the trivia game that we play next time.
All right,
It could be
I
whatever you
already
want.
know
It
what
doesn't
we're
have to
gonna
be-
do.
All right, it doesn't have to be this. It can be whatever you like.
Oh no, I already know what it is, so you guys can study up.
Good shit.
Okay.
Awesome.
It's going to be name the WrestleMania main events in reverse chronological order.
That's too hard, man. We'll workshop it.
Okay.
Yeah, I might make it easier.
Okay.
Yeah.
I might do Money in the Bank winners.
Well,
Oh, fuck.
something with WrestleMania would work because it is going to be the WrestleMania podcast.
It would work.
So
It would work. I mean, I'm not gonna. You ultimately have the decision, but
yeah,
that's gonna be hard.
just don't be fucking too crazy hard with it. So
Yeah.
well, awesome. That is a podcast. We will see everybody in 2 weeks for WrestleMania. Until then, stay frothy. Have a good Easter. Anybody else have any final thoughts, notes?
Support indie wrestling.
It's true.
Yep. Support indie wrestling, and Ludwig, we believe you. You're not in her
Exactly.
DMs.
Have a good night, everybody.